First, let's hit the Petaluma Gap. It's a pretty new AVA, and
Exciting area then.
yeah. Why is it called the Petaluma Gap?
So it's called the Petaluma Gap primarily because of the sense of place with Petaluma being
Sure.
right in the middle of it. But
gap.
the
What is-
gap.
what's the gap part?
The gap came
I mean, you
from.
can't buy jeans and stuff
Yeah,
there.
right.
No,
No, it's we're so used to our mountain and hill ranges running north to south, not east to west. And in this one region of the Sonoma Coast, the hills are actually running east to west, which is creating this open gap from the Pacific Ocean, which runs all the way down to San Pablo Bay. So it's creating a wind tunnel. So it's a naturally occurring geographical area in the Sonoma Coast AVA that has a wind tunnel with 8 to 10 mile an hour consistent winds. So that is why this is such an amazing sense of place. So many AVAs are driven by terroir or driven by something very specific, whereas this is just all about the wind.
Wow. Wow, and what does it do for the wines?
It really helps develop the skin on the berries. So you imagine, a lot of people who are familiar with going down the Cotati Grade, especially on 101, they can see that fog roll in, they see all of the trees as they have their kind of wind-laid path. And being a vineyard, especially, for example, like Gap's Crown, where I source from, on the southwest facing slope of Sonoma Mountain, which is right kind of in the middle of the gap. The gap's almost shaped like a kind of a boomerang-ish shape, kind of a little bit of a V.
A dogleg.
Yeah, exactly. So it comes in, hits Sonoma Mountain, ricochets down, and then goes to San Pablo Bay and into Carneros. The wind splits. And so with the wind, it really develops a thicker skin on the grapes. So therefore, you're getting more color, just more tannin from the actual grape skin, smaller berries. But then also because of that wind and fog coming in, you have a great growing season in the middle of the day, nice sunshine, nice heat, and then it cools right back off at night. So it's a long growing season, which maintains the acidity and the minerality in those vineyards.
So what are the wines that really benefit from, the grapes that really benefit from this time?
It's Pinot Noir and Chardonnay are kind of the two workhorses of the AVA. It's pretty much what everyone knows and loves. I'd have to say Syrah does really, really well. It's definitely kind of cool climate Syrah. It only just gets ripe, but that's kind of the whole point of the gap. It takes longer to ripen those grapes, and it's all about you want to be picking your grapes as late as possible at the peak of ripeness. If you're picking it earlier, you're either picking it underripe or you're picking it overripe. You want to be picking it as late as possible with as much flavor, as much concentration, and as much kind of character in those grapes as possible. And the gap with that wind, as Eric was talking about, that wind helps to extend that growing season and really enhances all those flavors.
You're obviously from Brooklyn.
Yeah, I've been out here a couple of years. It's a little bit flattened out, the Brooklyn accent.
Where'd you grow